Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Look at that, Miss Andrea. That's a red traffic light. I'm the one who's been unlucky, and I'm the one who's left holding the baby. I'm the one that's got to sit here and wait for these traffic lights to change. Absolutely shocking. Where are we? That's what you're wondering. Well, this is Kennedy Square, and as you can see, there's two nice works of art across the road, and there's a few of those buildings in this area because technically we're in the old town, and it's an area that often is overlooked by people who come to Paphos. We understand that most people want to be down by the coastline, most people want to be on the promenade and in the harbour area, but please, if you've got a spare couple of hours, why not jump on a bus, hire a car, steal a car, get in a taxi, or perhaps even walk. It'll take you around about 20 to 30 minutes to walk up to the old town from the promenade and harbour area. But I promise you, when you come up here, it is well worth it. There's lots of quaint little shops, gift shops. You've got Mr. Alan with his gluten-free cakes. He's in the downtown Cato Paphos. Hold on, these people have been told to get across, they didn't understand, and now they're holding me up. But there we go, that's it. What can I say? We'll try not to run them over because, of course, they are tourists and they're not familiar with the way the traffic lights were working. So there we go. Anyway, as I was saying, please come up to the old town because it's well worth coming to. Take an afternoon or a morning and come and have a look. There's lots of little nooks and crannies. There's some great gift shops. There's lots of homemade, handcrafted shops. There's some great cafes. And I say, there's a great cake shop, Mr. Alarm, and he handcrafts his cakes. He is a fully trained patisserie chef, started off in downtown Paris and worked his way through some of the greatest hotels in the world. Started off in Paphos in a 5-star Hotel the Annabelle Hotel, and then decided he wanted to spend more time with his family, so he opened the Alarm patisserie shop in the old town. And he's doing very well, especially on birthdays and Christmas times. People pop down and have special cakes made, all gluten-free. So you tell him what you want and he'll make it for you. Mention Marika and me and you never know, he might give you a little discount, or he might give you something that little bit extra. But he's a really nice guy, so please go and have a look at him, and please go and see all of the shops. They are nice, friendly, open-hearted and warm people, and you don't have to spend a penny with them. Just be nice and polite and have a look, and that they will appreciate. So where are we? Well, we're dropping down through lower Midtown Paphos, shall we say, the working part of Paphos, if you understand now, but we're heading down towards the Cato Paphos Harbour area. That's what we're actually doing, and at the end of this road it will be the Paphos Mall roundabout. So the Begona Garden Centre will be on our left, and the silver building, which is the Paphos Mall, will be on our right. So let's just go and check in with the breakfast crew. Let's see who's on the sofas today. You've got Sally Briers there, and we've got Matt Dyers, because of course they're trying to curry favour because they went off to Lanzarote for a week or so. Terrible people, aren't they? Anyway, we've forgiven them because they gave us a super thanks. So thanks, Mr. Matt. Only joking. There we go. If you're wondering how the channel is funded, by the way, you can obviously go and hit the super thanks button and make a contribution to the channel, or you can go through to buy me a coffee and again buy us a coffee or two, and that money liquefied, and of course it's put into the petrol tank on most occasions, and now and again it buys us a coffee or two. So a big shout out to all the people that support the channel, and we thank you from the bottom of our two hearts, that's for sure. Mr. Andy, we thank you for all those coffees you bought us, and your video will be coming very soon, I promise you. Gwyneth Walker, all the way out in Welshpool, thank you very much. And you never know, we might get to see you in the Queen's Bay Hotel this summer. Let us know when you're in town, and we will chuchka dance down, and with great pleasure we will chuchka dance down the rear of that hotel. It's a spectacular hotel, that's for sure. Well, that was it. That was the Paphos roundabout, and that was the Paphos Mall. Let's stop at this red light and let these people go, because again, they are tourists. We don't want to run them all over. You never know, they might even be family members. You never know. Right, we've just come under the Paphos Skywalk. Again, I'm always mentioning that. It's a steel structure that allows you to walk up above the roads. I'm not going to say you're in the clouds, but you do get a great perspective, a great view up towards the Old Town and back down towards the Cape of Paphos Harbour and Promenade area. And rumour has it that the Gabara number 1, that's the mayor for Donis, is probably going to be putting up some turnstiles and probably going to be charging from next year. So if you're in town this year, what I suggest you do is take 10-15 minutes of your time and go and have a look, because great fresh air, very nice walk. Whether you're a little or an oldie, I'm pretty sure you will complete that walk in 10 to 15 minutes. And you know, it's nothing spectacular, it's nothing to write home about, but at least you can say you've been on this strange steel structure that takes you up into the heavens above downtown Paphos. Right, this is what I call the estate agent street, because if you look into my property in downtown Paphos or uptown Paphos or Paya or Clorica or anywhere else in Paphos, this is probably one of the streets you're going to come onto. You've got Fitzgerald's, you've got Chesterton's, you've got every property seller on the planet on here. So make sure you have a good look around and make sure you do your homework, and please make sure that you get yourself a very good and a very independent lawyer. Did you hear me correctly there? Independent lawyer. Do not go with a lawyer that is recommended by the estate agent or the property developer. Otherwise, well, go on Google and see what can happen. So go and get an independent recommended lawyer that deals in speciality of property, because, well, you can end up with no title deeds and you can end up with a property that you bought that you're not going to own. So that's it. This can happen in many countries. It happens in Spain, it happens in Portugal, it happens in Turkey, and of course it happens in Cyprus. So we understand that you fall in love with the country, and we understand that you fall in love with the weather. There we are. Cyclists, can't believe it. They were actually going to give me the right of way. Very strange. There we are. That's the rant over. I'm not trying to upset the cyclists. There we are. You never know, one or two of them may be family members. So hopefully, if you are, you treat people, I don't mean cars, I mean people, with a bit more respect, because in general most cyclists that I see don't. They seem to think that they are the centre of the universe and that they can do no wrong, they can go through red lights, they can run people over on zebra crossings, but when you give them abuse, whoa, you're a bad person, because you're driving around on these big CO2 polluting, gas guzzling things. And yes, I do. There we are. Put a helmet on, young man, otherwise next time you may fall on your head when you pull that wheelie, and then you'll be a little bit sorry. But there we go. Downtown Cape of Paphos on a spectacular day. A little bit gloomy, I accept that, but as you can see, most of the people are driving around and walking around in shorts and t-shirts, so that must mean the temperature is not too bad, and it is a spectacular day indeed. And as we can see, it's pretty busy because the tourism is picking up. Easter time is here. Whether you're on British Easter or Orthodox Easter, doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, people like to get out and they like to celebrate and they like to have a good holiday. This is the taxi rank, by the way, on the left hand side of the downtown Cape of Paphos Harbour and Promenade area. And as you see, lots of people around, and the restaurants and cafes are doing very well indeed. And of course it's going to get busier and busier and busier, because all that's going to come now is into spring, proper spring as we call it, and then straight into summer. And the summer in Cyprus, of course, lasts a very long time indeed. Normally it goes all the way through to the middle of October. So if you're looking for that special place to come on your holidays, perhaps Paphos should be at the very top of your list indeed. So I'm going to take you back up towards the Paphos Mall, so you get an idea of how far it is to the Mall from the harbour area. If you're walking it, it's going to take you 10 to 15, maximum 20 minutes each way, unless of course you get dragged into one of the estate agents or into a shoe shop or something like that, or perhaps you stop for a nice coffee or a can of Coke, or even, dare I say it, if your name's Benjamin, all the way from up in Scotland. I mean, oh, Pepsi Max. Oh my goodness, terrible, isn't it? Miss Andrea, I hope you're enjoying your can of Pepsi Max with the odd cherry or two flavouring in it. Anyway, there we go. That's enough on that subject. Let's stick to the real thing. That's the real thing there. That's it. Proper stuff. As I've said, many people walking around, as you see, and well, they're all in shorts, aren't they? Shorts and t-shirts, so that says a lot. We are in the middle of April, and obviously they've come from a colder climate. The majority of people walking around are from, at the moment, by the way, British, Polish, and a lot of Israeli, and a lot of locals, obviously, as well. So we understand in their countries where they come from, with the exception of Israel, the temperature is probably a bit less than what it is here. The temperature today, as I told you, is around about 20 to 21 degrees, especially if your name is Miss Dawn and you've got a husband called Mr. Sean. There we go. Back under the skywalk, which means that the silver building that we can see straight in front of us, well, that building is the Paphos now. Let's take a left and let's go down Tomb of the Kings Avenue and let's see what's going on, because lots and lots of people, when they come to Paphos, they stay in apartment complexes or hotel complexes just off this avenue. And a great place to stay, by the way, because Kings Avenue, well, it's got a mall at the end of it, as we can see. It's got a McDonald's, it's got a KFC, it's got hospitals, it's got property sellers, it's got bakeries, it's got hire car shops, it's got a lot of things going on. There we are. And very, very soon, there is a girl with a velvet voice coming into town, and she's going to be staying in the Damien Hotel, which is just down here at the traffic lights next door to the King's Hotel. And of course her name is Miss Fern the Baby Barnhook, and she's bringing with her Harry the Keeper, and she is going to serenade us in a little karaoke bar which is coming up on the left hand side very, very shortly indeed, just down here. There we go. And of course we've got Miss Karen, she's staying in the Princess Vera with Mr. Ian, and in fact there they were, I think, sitting there, because I'm sure that the young man sitting there with a little hat on his head was Mr. Aaron, the bubblegum loving boy. And she said they were here for another 10 days or so, and we saw them about 3 or 4 days ago, so the odds are that was her. She was the blonde beauty. Mr. Ian was the man with the short grey hair, and the man with the spectacular t-shirts, that's Mr. Aaron. So they were sitting there probably having an early lunch, shading from the weather, because it doesn't know what it wants to do. At any moment now, those heavens could open up, that's for sure. They forecasted us light to medium showers. And I know we don't mind rain, but normally when you come to Cyprus, it's not something that's on your wish list. So I'm going to say thanks for watching. And of course, if you do like what you see, perhaps hit that like, click the subscribe, and come back for that little bit more of my complete and utter madness. Thanks for watching. And the lights are on red again. Shocking. What did I stop for? Here we go. Let's get going. Come on.